We are back, episode 159 of Journey to a Million here on this Wednesday night. Jared's joining me, and here's Zach. Full squad's here. Myself, Drew Skyberg. Also, and do we have Zach? We got some audio?
Yeah.
Maybe we have Zach. Well, I already have something fun up, so I'm ready to get started with it. We have a tier ranker, so these are still a big thing. You know, we always like doing tier lists and whatnot, and with that, we have one ranking quarterbacks. We've never done an actual like template one per se, but we've done it on this show. Zach,
I was watching a video about whether
there?
or not to trade 2027 first round picks.
And consensus says you do.
And no better time to watch that video than now, right?
The consensus said Jared should trade me his.
For
Cleo
4
Shakir.
seconds. You got it.
Done.
No, I probably wouldn't do that still.
2026, 2027, 2028.
No. You don't have a deal.
We need to discuss Zach. So, Jared, I want to hear your thoughts on this. So, Zach's trying to find what the sweet spot is for Jamar Chase, a trade for Jamar Chase in a Dynasty Superflex league. So, you should.
What are you trying to get?
Well, I don't want to do it, obviously, but you'll hear.
Drew's trying to give me, a dime and a penny for Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Funny. London and 2 firsts.
Yeah, it's a dime and a penny for Jamar Chase. So I'm in a few Discords,
Crazy.
2026 and 2027 first. He's got a good team, probably going to be late first round picks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I'm in a few Dynasty Discords. So I put up a poll. It was Jamar Chase for Drake London, Terry McLaurin, the 106, and 2027 first.
Whoa.
So, I mean, if you say McLaurin's 2026 first, probably late first, that's reasonable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically adding the 106 on top of what Drew is saying.
So you're saying Jamar Chase for basically Drake London and 3 firsts then?
I mean, I guess, yeah. Terry McLaurin and 106 and 2027 first.
See, you guys just need to meet in the middle. I mean, you have your both sides.
Listen
one is
to me.
way too much.
Hold
One
on.
is way not enough. So it's
Listen to the results of the poll. It's on a Dynasty Discord server.
I need to know more
This is gonna help
context.
you. My side
Did you like comment like Drew did when I traded for Tom Brady? Like,
Nope, I put up a poll, didn't say a thing.
just straight up? Okay.
Yep. I said, obviously, like I put the settings
Yeah.
or whatever, but it was 60-40 split. 60% took the London McLaurin side. 40% still took Chase over that. And I think it was like 15, 16 votes or something like that. I didn't look at the actual amount, but
Okay.
I'll say, like, I mean, just looking at pure rankings, however you want to look at it. Obviously, Chase is number 1. London, you'll see. I mean, you see a wide receiver, you see a wide receiver 8. He's actually the number 20 dynasty asset. I think that's kind of that's the part of the trade, obviously, where it falls out for me because he's actually in terms of rankings and whatever, he's rated a higher dynasty asset than Nico Collins. If you like it or not, he's higher than Caleb. He's higher.
Give me Nico instead of London then.
And I'm still not doing that. But my point here is, well, those are wide receiver 8 and 9. Like the leap between London and Chase.
Thank you, Jared.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
I'll do it again later.
How
Don't worry.
big is it, Zach? I mean, that might be
It's
a
huge.
loaded question.
Huge.
You think it's that big?
Look at how many weeks London had under 15 points. How many he had, like 10 points.
Okay, fine.
First of all, Chase's ceiling.
Puka. Let's take Puka and Chase.
Puka's a tier ahead of London.
Well, I got some rankings. up
Okay,
here.
here's the thing with Chase, right? Chase is going to have probably 2 weeks a year. He's plenty of 40 plus. I think if you look back, outside of like the 1 year he played like 9-10 games or whatever, That's been consistent his other 3 years where he's played the full year. He's consistent, or is it 3 years or no? It's 2 other years. Whatever. Anyways, he's a consistent 2 weeks a year where he's basically winning you the week, unless you get extremely unlucky with the matchup. Whatever. He's got 2 weeks a year. He's winning you by himself as long as your team plays decent. On top of that, he's a consistent, upper teens into the 20s per week guy. So he has the high floor and he has the highest ceiling of any player in fantasy.
I think people know that though.
Yeah. I mean, you're telling me why I want the best player in fantasy.
You could offer.
Which I appreciate.
You could
But you look at Drake London.
But Zach, you
look
can
at
make the
Drake
same
London.
argument and then say I want 5 first because of what you just said. You can make any price your own price, and
I mean,
then
that's
just make
pretty
that
much
argument.
what that.
And that's why he's never traded. That's why you don't see
Yeah.
the top dynasty asset traded because,
Yeah.
I mean,
You
that's
look
the
at
whole
Drake
point
London,
I'm
though.
getting at.
No, I'm going back to your point. You said what's the difference between Drake London and Jamar Chase? You look at Drake
come
London.
on, you know I know that the difference between them in terms of talent, skill.
I'd be offended if I were you,
points.
Drew. If he thinks you're that dumb to think that they're comparable, I'd be offended.
Well,
Oh, no,
I'm just saying.
I'm justifying why the difference is what it is.
Yeah.
It's not 3 firsts.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I don't
early,
think
like-
I would not ever give up 3 firsts straight up, just 3 firsts for maybe I'd do 3 firsts for Chase, but I wouldn't
Okay.
3 firsts and London. I wouldn't do that. That's way too much.
I have
Especially
another
because
point
like
going
Drake
along
London's like what 23. I mean he's really young. He can break out in the next 2 years.
Yeah, he's not even
You never
24
know.
yet.
Yeah.
I have another point to go along with this. When comparing the trades that happen in our dynasty leagues to kind of the dynasty community on these discords, even when obviously it doesn't happen all the time, but when one of these superstars gets traded, it's never even close to what these Discord servers would say they have to go for. Right? I think there's just a trade for the 101 in Drew, I think it's your league. It's the 101 for Jameson Williams, Xavier Worthy, and the 111 or something like that. There might have been like a third tossed in there as well. But if you go to any of these, what? I think
My
it's
league for
Worthy.
Genty?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Didn't even see that. Okay.
His own league, the top pick gets traded.
But yeah,
No, I just won the league. I'm not worried about that. I don't know.
I'll win
Oh.
either way. Like Kyle when he
Yeah.
talks about the Chiefs. I'll watch the Super Bowl when they're in the Super Bowl. Jeez. It's literally you.
Wait, go back to your point, Zach. Yeah.
But okay, so now that you're aware of the trade, do you think that's fair? Jameson Williams,
No.
Xavier Worthy, 111 for the 101.
Oh, give me the 101 side.
Jared?
I'd still.
It's close. It's not.
It is close.
It's not lopsided, Zach, but it's the 101 by.
See, you put that in any of those Discord chats, they're saying it's another probably mid 2026 first. Another later 2025 first.
Well,
Like they're gonna say it's not particularly close. Like it.
Yeah.
I'll
Like I
make
said,
this
the
Everyone has a
California
different
best game.
everyone has a different scale that they grade things on. Like you value rookies, you value your picks. Like maybe some people would give up more picks to get a player they like, a player they're high on. Like everything's different depending on what the calculators say and what polls say. Like if I wanted my favorite player and I think he's gonna have a great year, I would overpay for him. And I think that's what you're doing because you value Chase. Obviously, he's the best receiver in the league, if not one or two. But you value him so high because you're so like confident that he'll maintain this for 4, 5, 6 years down the road, and that you're asking way too much for him. That yeah, you can justify. Well, I'm asking for 4 firsts or 3 firsts and
make the ceiling.
whatever. Yeah, you can ask what you want, but don't be surprised when people are turning it down and countering or even declining because they're not going to give up that much.
I wasn't surprised he turned it down. I had zero expectation he was going to take it. But the reaction was more or less, there's no chance that's even close.
Yeah.
And that's why I was just posing the point that, I mean, according to a much larger sample group, it is fairly close.
I get it. You want to see the poll, and that does help. I don't know. It would take more for me. Like, I wouldn't give up that much for Chase. That's just me personally, though. Like, are you trading with Drew? Is that what's happening?
Well,
you're trying
it's not going to happen, Jared.
Yeah, like you have to work that out with him. Like
me
me personally, I wouldn't give up that much, but someone else might.
The argument I could see, Zach, too, and I don't know if you've made it yet, but smaller lineups definitely help you in this matter. I'd say by a good bit. There's no extra flexes in that. So, you're getting the best receiver in a small lineup. That's the other advantage thing, right? I mean, sure,
you got Burrow too, so you have to stack.
Well, that's the other point too, right? So, team specifically, but yeah, I just don't kind of see with obviously I have the draft capital, but I don't know. I'm not one of those guys who likes to go throw a lot of darts at one guy, if you will, and kind of put all the money in one, and sure, it could work out in terms of how my team performs, but I think that Chase, right? Well, we should just establish that one more time. Obviously, Chase is the number one asset. The question is going to be how you value Drake London in that trade, I feel, because McLaurin at first we agree on, or like just saying like in terms of valuations, what years those first are, I think would be differentiators in that deal. But then how much do you value Drake London is kind of the question that the person, like let's say in this trade, that as well as, you said Nico Collins. Can I go a little lower here? I just want to hear your thoughts. What if Garrett Wilson was in place of Drake London? Would you do that?
Probably.
Okay. What about, and
See,
this is where I probably lose it. AJ Brown?
Why is it confusing you?
Because Garrett Wilson and Drake London are pretty comparable. Yeah, Garrett Wilson a few ticks better, maybe. Yeah, but I'm saying he wouldn't do it for Drake London, but he would for Drake London?
I would do it for both.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
I'm just seeing the lines drawn. With 3 firsts, I mean the line should be pretty, like AJ Brown, probably, maybe, no. This drawn. We'll see.
I mean, probably.
Isn't he like 30 now?
He's like 28, I think. 27, 28.
I got
I would say Chase is probably worth like 4.5 firsts.
4.5.
Pushing 5.
What?
Look at Jared's face.
I don't agree.
Especially in shallow lineups. I'd say that's another factor.
I'm curious what Keep Trade Cut has to say.
I actually have that set up right now. He's valued in terms of, he's valued the same as Daniels. Like it says with Superflex, you should be able to do a Chase for Daniels 1-for-1, which would be crazy.
I mean, did you type in that trade? I can put it in right now quick too.
No, I'm
what first are we talking here? What firsts?
He wants the best ones.
I'll type it in.
Because Drake London by itself is only like 4,000 short.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah, but you got to think the value adjustment.
Yeah, I know there's value adjustment. It says 7,200. Yeah.
Also, to Zach's point, when you're trading for number one, almost every time a number one guy's traded or whatever, it's always going to say the side who had the number, who had the asset is going to win the trade, just solely based on you got to pay the price for a top guy.
So it's 15,600 to 20,700.
Let me ask you, Zach, what would you value Drake May on basis of first round picks?
4.6 point.
I'm guessing 4 point. That's what keep trade cut adjust to.
Oh,
I'm
in
sure.
terms of first,
How many firsts would you give up for Drake May?
probably 2 mid to late.
2 mid to late, so an early first and an early
Agreed.
second. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, if it's
Make it
this
a
year,
little
I'd do the 104 and the 201. Yeah.
Okay.
Once you
So
get in
would-
the top 3 this year, that's where I start.
So would you
questioning
do a trade for Jamar Chase with Drake London, the 104, and the 201? No, right? You wouldn't.
it. No.
So that is actually favoring Drake London and Drake May over Jamar Chase. This calculator does. So that's
Okay.
where you,
That's what we're
you
doing.
see, you see the value way too high with Chase. I think that's
But here's the other thing. You're taking 2 players that have a lot of hype going into next season and are relatively unproven. Chase is proven. We know what his value is.
I just wanted to do that to see like where your value would be, and then comparing it to the Chase trade.
Yep, you answered.
Yeah.
That was kind of my what my next exercise was going to be, but I was just going to take like T. Higgins,
Yeah.
I was going to take those kinds of that next tier below dynasty.
I mean, it's
guys.
your trade. You you have
That's
Chase.
the 104 essentially. So
Yeah. If you want something for Chase, get what you want.
just now,
Listen,
Jared,
I've
right?
had-
Yeah.
I had another person reach out, and I never actually got an offer, but I'm assuming that also would not be anywhere close to kind of what.
It's kind of What I thought was like I said London. I said 2 firsts. You picked the first. It's not bad. It's not offensive.
No, I mean if you throw a third first on there, then we're talking.
But no, I said out of all my firsts, you got to literally pick the ones you wanted in terms of what player, like what teams, what. But no, I get it. I traded AJ Brown a couple years ago, and that was
I have a question, quick Zach.
Go
Why are you trying to trade Chase? You're already like
the other
competing.
key point, Jared.
I'm not really trying to trade him. I'm just looking see if there's any opportunities to get some more depth.
Yeah.
Because my roster is pretty shallow. I could use another piece or another 2 pieces for depth. So
Okay. Yeah, because like you're competing, right? You're top 4, top 5. I would
got
say
the best starting lineup in the league.
Yeah.
I'll confidently say that.
Sure,
Bench,
and you're that confident.
Another story.
Yeah. So you just want more depth. So you trade Chase, you might lose that best lineup in the league title.
That's why I'm not trying to like tier significantly down. I'm trying to stay in that the Drake London range or something like that, where it's still like it's still a very good, like a low end wide receiver 1, high end wide receiver 2 kind of guy in my lineup. But
all right.
Well, shall we rank some quarterbacks? Tier rank?
Sure.
I think this is a fun exercise. Thinking going into next season, you might see some names on here that will not make sense why they're on here. Tyrod Taylor was a great point to call out.
Hayden O'Connell, maybe?
Aiden O'Connell, we'll rank him. We can still rank those guys.
Yeah.
Do you all want to start? I was thinking we're going to just start from the top and go to the bottom. Or just in regards to like
What are we basing this off of, though?
next season?
can I ask one more
NFL.
question on the Chase thing?
Who you want?
Okay.
Drew, would you do Jane Daniels for Jamar Chase? You said they're right at the same level.
I did, but
That's
obviously
a resounding
the answer
hell
to that
no
one-
for me. I would never.
The answer to that one, Zach, is it depends on what your team is. So Sam Darnold is my 3rd quarterback right now in that. So
Okay, so hypothetically say like say you have another quarterback, right? Say you're getting a different quarterback and trade whatever. Like you have a viable second quarterback where it's like they're going to give you a QB 13 season.
probably I'd consider. Yeah, I'd say I'd do it.
Okay. Jared still not
No.
My league's also
not
not
sold
a good
on
example
Daniels.
of
He had
that,
one
Zach, 'cause
good
at this
year.
point,
So you're taking the Chase side, Jared.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were taking Daniel's side.
No. Nope. and taking Chase's side. So I guess I would do it then.
Yeah.
I would take Chase for Daniels.
Okay, that's all I'd say.
Okay, so with that, we have Caleb Williams to start.
So this is not
next
dynasty,
season,
not fantasy.
This is
better
football,
quarterback.
Jared. This is Zach's kind of game. We're talking football. We're not talking his fantasy though.
Okay.
But so that's where some of these guys here who are better fantasy quarterbacks than in real life. A certain guy comes to mind. But
looks like we'll be a while before we get to him. So let's start, huh?
yeah, it does.
All right.
So Caleb, initial thoughts coming into next season. For me right away, I think B tier.
A.
Okay, it's B. Definitely B.
Yeah.
I'm thinking high B. But maybe
I
that's
would never consider A.
Does it let you?
I think it just.
It will eventually.
Yeah, we'll see.
If you put another one in B tier, you can put one ahead of the other, but
Oh, so like Tommy DeVito when he goes in B tier.
he'll go in D tier. Yeah, then you can move him. Yeah.
Sorry, no, not wasting time there. Drake
See, like
May.
I think Drake may have a more promising career ahead of him than
Well, just
Caleb
next
Williams,
season,
to be
Jared.
honest.
How we
I know
feeling?
that's why it's hard to rank them. Probably C right now, but
Doing Drake
maybe end of B.
B.
I think
I
I
think
go
everyone's going to be
B,
in B.
low B.
That's why I don't want to stack B right now because there's a lot of mid quarterbacks right now. Like,
Jared, it's going to be a standard deviation belt.
yeah, you think so?
Smart. Flacco.
Well, that's
I
S.
just put him-
Yeah, he's above
Yeah, that's
DeVito,
what I
I'd say, probably still.
Fields C.
My vote's C. I think it kind of writes itself.
Yeah.
Fields and C.
Bryce Young.
High
C.
C.
Young or
like,
Fields?
above Fields.
We talk quarterbacks all the time. That's why it's like this is such a great exercise. We just talk rankings, how we rate them.
Above Fields.
Is this Sam Howell that's next? Oh my god.
Wait, so are we saying
Right there,
Above.
right
Yeah.
there. Nope. Yep. That's where if you disagree, speak your mind.
Well, I got to think about no. Yeah, that's fine. He better be the best C quarterback though.
We can always adjust after we see where we rank other people too.
I mean, he did get benched last year, so
Uh-huh.
say the best C
I'm looking
tiers.
next season, Zach.
Not like
weapons.
he's
He
But
put a
look
few
at
games together.
as a pocket passer. I mean, for that
he
obviously.
had a Trevor Lawrence season last year.
Yeah.
A little bit worse. Trevor
I can't wait
Lawrence
to get to
sophomore
him.
year.
He's gonna be. He actually probably is the top of C tier.
All right, let's get
Lawrence?
Sam Howell up there in the D.
But where in the D? Is he worse than DeVito? Is he in between?
I'd put him here.
He's better than DeVito.
Yeah. I put him. I put
All
him in between because.
I'd put him ahead of Flacco.
Okay. He's not S.
He's
I'm talking
Going-
NFL.
I know, but okay. Then put him in S. Whatever. I would put him high A, but
Zach S.
he just hasn't been good for 2 years. He hasn't.
What?
Jared, they were winning like 13 games a year.
Yeah, they win, but
Can't
that's
be
their
bad.
defense. That's their O-line. That's not Mahomes. Mahomes had a career low last year.
Say
Going
Rodgers
into next
could be
year,
right
I don't
there.
think he's even top 5.
What do you got for Rodgers?
Okay,
He's-
hold
he's
on.
my
Hold on.
man.
No, hey, can we stop quick?
Yeah.
When we ranked our quarterbacks, Mahomes wasn't in like any of our top 3.
For fantasy, because we're ranking fantasy, Jared.
No, we weren't.
Now we're going
Different
NFL,
one.
Jared.
No, we weren't.
Well, we were. You were.
We were supposed to be.
My point
Yeah.
is that okay. We'll get back to it, I guess.
So you didn't
No.
understand our rankings.
It is. I'd like to
Well-
hear Jared.
Really?
Mahomes
No, that
had
was me.
a career low year. When I think of S tier, I think of the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons, the top quarterbacks. I don't see Mahomes as. I mean, yes, he's a great quarterback right now.
He'll be
but
back of S in my eyes.
yeah,
Okay,
I don't want him to be like the top.
Here's the other argument.
Oh,
Best weapons he's had since Tyreek Hill left. Worst
Right.
running game he's had in his career, possibly.
That's right.
Maybe last year.
Uh-huh. He's
He's
carried by
throwing
his
the ball a
defense. I'm sorry.
He's
he
going to be
is.
throwing the rock, from speaking typical radio terms.
Uh-huh. Isn't what lineman left? Was it
Joe Thuney.
Thuney?
Thuney.
That's what I thought.
Thuney.
Traded to the Bears. Thuney.
Yeah,
Which makes
but they
Mahomes a little bit worse, right?
they drafted Josh Simmons first round to play left tackle. So that was a big issue for them last year.
Yeah, I was going to say they brought tackle in. I think the environment for Mahomes looks to be more pass friendly in 25, and therefore should make him look better. Like tape wise, should be statistically a
I
better.
don't know. This guy just lost by like 30 in the Super Bowl. I know he got there. I get it, but
Yeah, you're
Going
using
into
losing
next
the
year.
Super Bowl to downgrade a quarterback.
going into next year though, like they are probably going to win like 10 games. That's my.
Dude, you're stupid.
They won
It's the Chiefs.
14 last year, and they won like 8 straight one possession games.
Want to do it again?
Yeah, that's never happened before ever. But
I was gonna give them, and their division's gotten better. I was gonna say 11 or 12. So I'm not
I'm
too
also
far
a
off Jared.
D1 Chiefs hater, so we can.
I'm not.
I could see
but
12
Jared,
and 5.
I see some validity in your points.
Mhm.
I think 11.
It's fine. He can stay at S, but he will not be top S.
No, I
Nah,
agree.
he'll be second.
What about Aaron Rodgers?
I don't
He's
know
right
if he
ahead of
goes to
Drake
the
May.
Steelers. If he goes to the Steelers, he's B. But if he doesn't play, he might not play.
Well,
We're assuming.
I'm going to use a little bit of
he's-
what I saw last year on tape. I think he was actually better than people thought.
Yeah,
Of
course.
But when I say that, I mean I'm thinking
Wasn't
this is
good.
the upside, middle of B.
But would you really take Justin Fields right now over Rodgers
No, that's why he's ahead of him. That's why Rodgers is.
or Williams?
Above
Not
Fields.
Fields. Williams. I meant Williams.
100%.
I take Caleb over Rodgers.
Yeah.
So
Next
for like
season.
1 year, right? I think
Yeah,
it's
I'm taking Caleb
weighted
Williams.
because Rodgers is like 40.
Good thing we were ranking
Yeah.
for this year.
But you would take Rodgers over Drake May?
Yeah. Drake May hasn't proven anything. I mean, neither does Caleb, but Caleb's situation is kind of hard to mess up this year. If Caleb plays bad this year, he's a goner.
I think I would take
Not a
DeVito
goner,
over Zappy, to be honest. DeVito had
No,
some good
come
games.
on.
Zappy
Come on.
was
Zappy's
terrible.
ahead of DeVito.
Zappy was terrible.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wait, are we
You
actually
can
debating
give
this?
DeVito.
'Cause now
It's
I'm
like
thinking
right
too.
there. It's so bad.
Yeah, we're spending time on this. This is good.
Yeah.
Bailey Zappi or Tommy
Somewhere.
DeVito?
Yeah.
Zappy had a really good game. That one start.
That one game.
Give me
Hey,
DeVito.
he took the Packers 2 years ago to overtime. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then he had like 2 horrible starts after that. but
Yeah.
The one was good.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Tua.
Oh.
Slot him in
Ahead of Caleb.
right ahead of Rodgers.
Oh. Nah.
Yeah.
Caleb
I think
or
he's
Tua?
got to go high B at worst, in my opinion. If healthy, we're assuming health for everyone, right? That's
Jared's a
what
Tua guy. Zach and I tend to be in the middle. Zach's the hater, so that's where this gets at.
Okay,
He's a
here's my
hater.
point.
Jesus.
Here's my point. How many games this year will Caleb Williams throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns?
How many games?
Do you actually think he will?
8.
I think
Oh
you
my
will.
god, come on. Once, twice, maybe? At most? Well, Tua
You'll
does
have a
that
couple.
probably 4
Two,
times a
two.
year if he's healthy. He has 400-yard passing games with 4 touchdowns.
He also has some stinkers.
Yeah, of course he does, but so does Caleb. I mean, everyone does. Tua's upside is so much higher this next season. If he's healthy for this
But
world,
you also got to think about Caleb offers you a lot more with his legs. Tua offers nothing.
not anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's
spots
ahead of
we're
Rodgers.
debating him. We're debating him here or here, and that's
I don't
where
think that's a
would agree.
question, to be honest.
We're
I
debating
think,
him or Williams.
I think it's easily above Williams. I would even contemplate like really low A, but I like Tua. So
Next season, looking at stats.
just keep him
Would
above
you rather
Williams
have
for
you-
now, and we'll see what changes.
No.
Well,
Zach,
we'll
you got
get
your,
the
you
edge.
got your way with
we gotta give
Rodgers.
Jared one, Zach.
Yeah.
No, Drew, you're the tiebreaker. You think Williams is better? I know you do. Don't even lie about it.
But
Not
we'll go
even
back.
question.
We'll make final adjustments. when
Will
needed.
Levis, Jordan Love Jr.
Ahead of Flacco.
I partly was thinking end of the year, but
Yeah, that's fair.
that'd be disrespectful because like these are like starters. I feel like S
Mhm.
through C got to be starters in my opinion.
Yeah.
Ooh, Russ with the Giants.
I'm
B.
gonna put him-
Yeah. I'd put him right
Ooh.
behind May.
I'll take Bryce Young over him.
Yeah, it's right there. It's either high C or low
Nah.
B.
He's got to be in C. If you say you don't want to stack B, don't put him in B.
But he's such an
Jared, I'm
like
stuck
he's
because
such
he's
an
good. He's better
average
than Fields.
quarterback.
He's better than Fields.
Well,
Are you
you could
taking-
I think
honestly
he's
he's
closer
not
to Fields than
he's
Young.
not B. Yeah, he's closer to Fields than he is Young. He did
That's
get
the
benched
argument I
for
was going to make.
Fields
He's
last
closer
year.
to Fields than he is to May, but he's better than Fields.
Do you think that? Because I know a lot of Steelers fans, and by a lot I mean like one, that said Fields was way better and he felt way more
I think that's
confident when Fields was playing over Wilson.
I mean, Fields is a lot more flashy, but
I
Wilson
think
hasn't
next
had a
year,
great
Bryce Young
season
with weapons.
since Seattle, basically.
Wilson?
Yeah,
He had a nice year last year, other than that bad
Fine.
season.
a great season since then.
You say that 16-game stretch, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Kyler
Okay,
Murray.
well-
Ooh, this one will be.
This is mid. Now we're getting.
I think he should be right ahead of
Right.
Rodgers. Him
Yeah.
and Tua are very close.
That's what I was thinking. I said right behind Tua, I was gonna say, but
But you can't put Caleb behind Murray.
why? He had one bad year. Caleb had one bad year. He wasn't even good last year.
But Murray is very mid.
But we're
I
not
think
going
Caleb's
off
gonna
of
be better
upside.
than
We're
Kyler
going off
Murray
of
next
this
year.
season.
Yeah, we're going for next year. I'm taking the upside Williams has over both of those guys. I'll give you Tua over Murray. Fine.
So you think
But
that's
Caleb's
right?
over
Just
Tua.
like that?
No, Caleb's over.
I think so. Well, there could be a change in B tier.
So we're still only
God,
contemplating
yes.
the top two B tier. Okay.
Yeah.
Jared
Goff,
Goff is
ooh.
the first A tier, probably.
What?
He's a good quarterback. He finds ways to get it done. Like
I was debating where in B tier to put him. Wasn't
you
even a
can't put
question. He
everyone
was
in B
A.
tier. You even said that. You can't put everyone in B tier.
I thought, well, once we get through, okay, I don't want to go through this list too far, but once we get to these certain gentlemen,
We're kind of starting out with the bottom of the barrel for quarterbacks here.
We really are.
We're-
This is
we haven't
terrible.
hit
I
any
think
of
I
them.
think A tier is just gonna.
And that's why we're gonna have to move some of these guys.
Yep.
as soon
I'd
as
say
we
Goff.
realize-
Right behind Caleb.
Oh. You would really
I
take
thought-
Caleb Williams
Caleb?
over Jared Goff.
I'm taking Goff over Tua.
Yeah, I am.
So high B?
Let me do it. Let me move,
Let me do it.
let me do it. Let me move them. Thank you.
See, this is
I'm
where
not-
I would just move Tua behind Murray.
What? You just said that.
I don't disagree.
You
Zach.
just said Murray is worse than Tua.
I said I'll
Well,
give you that. I
this-
didn't say I
this is the
agree with it.
Caleb's too low now. I think Caleb's gonna finish too low in this.
Well, we'll move. That's why I'm saying Jared Goff is not a B tier quarterback.
He's not A.
You just made the reason of
Ooh, that is
Mahomes being
right.
S tier because he wins games and he gets it done. Well,
But he
Goff
doesn't have
does
a
the same
god
thing.
squad around him. Jared Goff is Brock Purdy from 2 years ago.
Whoa.
Except Brock Purdy is better than
Okay.
Goff.
See, now he's finally admitting that this is good.
All right.
I could have used that 2 years ago. I
I
should
just said Brock
should go
Purdy
back
is
and
better than
put that
Jared
on.
Goff. All right.
Daniel Jones. You gotta
Indiana
put him ahead of
Jones.
Levis, right?
He had a really
Yeah.
good year, but that was it.
He's bottom. Yeah, he's D, but top D.
Yeah.
Jared, we might as well just here. Let's just.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But okay, hold on.
Get him out of there.
You're taking him over
Jeez.
Rodgers, though, right?
No. Because his name is Trevor Lawrence. Is that why?
This is the highest I could go if I was talking.
No, yeah,
That's
no.
way too high.
That's the highest he should go.
I'm 100% taking May over
But
Lawrence this next
you
season.
look at
100%.
Travis Hunter, you look at
You
BTJ.
can look at them all you want, and then you look at their
I think
quarterback and
Rodgers
realize
might
it's
be too
Trevor
high.
Lawrence.
I think Rodgers might be too high too, but I'm taking Lawrence over Rodgers. I think Rodgers and May should switch now that we're looking at it.
I agree. Jared, would you be comfortable
I
making
made-
this switch? if we
I
just put
literally
these two-
made that. I literally said that when we put
Well,
Rodgers.
We just
there.
did it for you.
Yeah.
But
But
Lawrence
now I
should be
think
ahead of
Trevor Lawrence
Rodgers.
over Rodgers too.
Lawrence is better than Rodgers next year, yeah. But maybe
But Jared,
Rodgers
you
should be
taking May
C
over
tier.
Lawrence?
Yes.
But you're the guy that hates guys that haven't proven themselves.
And Lawrence hasn't proven himself, has he?
May has proven 0. May has
Well-
proven less.
And Lawrence has proven 0 in more time. So there we go.
All right.
And put Rodgers in C tier.
Well,
I'd feel
Derek
better
Carr
about it.
is. Can we just put him like at the end? I mean, he's not
In
playing.
between Daniel Jones and Will Levis. No.
No, put him between Wilson and Fields.
Yeah. He's a good quarterback when well, he's retired, but
Yeah.
He's Tyrod
Tyrod
Taylor.
Taylor.
Put him right behind Daniel Jones, right behind Danny Dimes.
yeah, he's a good backup.
Oh well, after Levis.
Yeah, I'd
Take
it's
Levis,
absolutely-
right?
Yeah, yeah. I honestly would take Flacco. over.
Kirk.
Ooh. Behind Fields.
Whoa, that's crazy.
What?
I was
okay,
going to
he
say
had a
above
bad
Wilson.
stretch last year.
He
Yeah.
was so bad. His whole year last
Was.
year was horrible.
Yeah. And going
But
into next year,
I feel like
is
he's
he going to
comparable to
play?
Russ.
Not now.
He's worse than Russ.
Yeah. If he's not going to play the entire season, we can't put him in C tier going into next year.
I'd put him right behind Fields. I think if Rodgers doesn't sign with Pittsburgh, he's going there.
But my point here is like if he's not playing, he's the worst on this list.
Okay, but we should have Carr lower then. Carr's
Well,
too high.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, Jared. Yeah. Well,
Carr should be D tier. He's not playing anymore. He's done. Like,
Let's just put him at the end.
yeah, that's where he should be.
Lamar, A.
S.
well,
He's not much better than him. He's S. Yes.
oh,
Yeah,
this
ahead
is
of
tough.
Ahead of him. It's got to be. At least for now.
He's not number 1 though.
No.
No. Definitely
Here's your
not.
first A tier.
Love is an A.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jared wants to say no so bad.
No. Why would I want to
Or
say
he's
no?
behind him,
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Last one in the A tier.
Right behind Purdy.
No, not the last.
Or right
one.
behind Goff. Right behind Goff.
I'll take Stafford over Purdy.
I'll put Purdy over Goff. Top B tier.
Top B tier. Give me Stafford low A.
But I
That's
think
fine.
Goff is better than Stafford.
He's not. Herbert, right?
I'd
after
feel a
Stafford
lot
was
better.
good
I would
last
feel
year
a lot
in
better if
the
all
playoffs.
three of those quarterbacks were in the same tier.
Who?
Stafford, Purdy, and Goff. Because they're all like that same.
Stafford's better than them too.
So then put Stafford high B. I don't want to crowd B too much, but kind of have to.
No, Stafford's low A.
Well, hold on.
For
We got
next
Herbert.
season?
Jared doesn't want to crowd B, but
Oh.
Herbert.
That's why.
He's so average. Oh my god.
Herbert's right ahead of Stafford.
Ooh, what? That's mind-boggling if you think that.
Drew,
It's like
you
he's a good
disagree too?
quarterback. Yeah,
Maybe right below Stafford? I
that
feel
was
like
my
him and
thought.
Stafford are like right next to each other.
That is the tier.
Maybe I shouldn't have been as harsh. If you're going to put Herbert in between Love and Stafford, then you need to move Purdy and Goff up to A tier. Because think of this right now. We're making it way too based off of like where they rank in the line. When we have to think of it this way, is Purdy and Rodgers are both B tier? No. There's no way.
Joe, we only have 5 tiers though, right? There's obviously tiers
Yeah,
within the tiers.
I get that. But if Purdy and Rodgers are both B tier, you got to keep it like that. If they're not, you got to move some down to C because
I'd be willing to move Rodgers top of C tier.
yeah, I think he should be. But
So you think I'm fine with that? Yeah, you can move him.
Let's
He's
just do it.
better than Young, though, right?
yeah, what's that?
He's better than Young though, right? You're taking
Yeah.
Rodgers.
I would take Rodgers if he plays.
Okay.
If he's I don't know,
Where's Herbert
Steelers.
End of A, beginning of B. Purdy or Herbert?
Herbert. I'm not a Purdy
This
fan
is-
at all. I think Herbert. over
Purdy's
Purdy.
grown on me. Because
Oh, Drew, I told Jared I'd trade him Brock Purdy for JJ McCarthy, and he said no, straight up.
wow,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't actually do that, right, Zach? Would you? No, you wouldn't.
I don't know. I got that offer and only got debating it.
Herbert,
6 point,
Top
which
of
is
B.
why I'm- Top of B. Okay. Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
Dread ahead to Tyrod Taylor.
Oh.
He did start over Tyrod, didn't he? In New York.
Maybe.
I'm an Aiden O'Connell guy, so
Right behind Danny Dimes. Or in front of Danny Dimes.
You think
Yeah.
O'Connell's
I think-
better than Danny? Okay. All right.
Gino. Ahead of Rodgers.
Gino's a guy who I could see being top of C tier.
But we can't overplay his one good season. Like
He's been decent. Though. He's been decent.
last year wasn't much, to be honest.
I feel like Bryce Young should be ahead of Smith, though. Yeah, it's fine.
Really? No question. Jared, you there?
Yeah, I'm thinking. I don't know. Going
wait,
into next
Zach,
season, from what we've
Bryce
seen,
Young
that's
should be ahead
fair.
of someone?
Yes.
What'd you say, Drew?
What you said? Someone should be ahead of someone.
Are you taking Bryce Young or Geno Smith?
They're
Is it
back to
bad
back.
for me to say Bryce Young? Yeah, but Rodgers just shouldn't be there then. Like,
Yeah, I then Rodgers. We have Rodgers. Should Rodgers be ahead of them? Should Rodgers be? This is throwing me off. Aaron Rodgers is right now because I don't know situation.
how much further down can we put him? You know, we had him in
I see.
B
Switch him and Geno. Yeah,
like that, like it was.
Like
he's not Russell Wilson. He's over Russell Wilson for sure.
okay, so
Yeah.
this is. Oh, okay. Here
All right,
now we're
Jalen
getting to the
Hurts.
good.
Right behind Daniels.
Behind Daniels is crazy. How do you rank him behind Daniels?
If we're looking at this upcoming season, I mean, they're featuring Saquon.
I don't care what they're featuring. What are you talking about? This is just not the team base. This is the player base.
Can we agree he's not S tier?
No, he's not.
I wouldn't be so quick to agree to that, but you'd probably convince me of it.
The only other one I'm putting in S tier is Josh Allen.
See, you're overrating S tier.
Burrow, I'm putting top A tier.
We need to slow down here because we're just looking at the next name like, oh, put him here, put him here, put him here.
Okay.
I don't
Hurts
know about
behind Daniels.
How do you put him behind Daniels?
I mean, if you look at it, were they that far apart last season?
Yeah, but he was
They're
a rookie.
pretty even.
Daniels had a great rookie season. You can't just assume that he's going to have
Yeah.
that same season next year. And Hurts just won the
Stroud.
Super Bowl.
Ellis Stroud.
Listen to me though, Jared. They had pretty much like very similar seasons, right? Daniels did it with less. You add Debo, add a better O-line. Hurts, I mean, he's in the same situation as last year, right? Which is still good for him, but
We're going talent, right? Experience, talent, everything.
we're going
Next season,
MVP.
what quarterback has
next
the best
season.
chance to be
Win
a
MVP?
great player for his team? No, not win MVP. Is that what you play for every year, to win MVP?
Yes.
We're thinking if you have this guy as your quarterback, what are your chances to win the Super Bowl? That's what this
I'm taking
is.
Jane
It's like-
Daniels.
So right now you want Jaden Daniels after one season on your team over
Give
the
me
guy
Goodell.
that just won the Super Bowl
KJ,
And Jalen
if you're looking
by
at
30 too.
you're looking at the Philadelphia Eagles,
Uh-huh.
do you think
But
they'd
we're
be
not. We're
better
looking
with
at Jalen
Jalen
Hurts.
Hurts, or do you think they'd be better with Jane Daniels on that roster this year?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I would say it hurts just because Daniels had 1 year. You're basing it off of a deep playoff run. If they lost first round of the playoffs, this is not even a question. Hurts is better. But they
I mean,
won
he was
2
pretty
games in the
phenomenal all
playoffs.
year. It's not like it was.
Yeah, he had a great
2
year.
games.
I'm not arguing that. But I'm
Jared,
just
where are
saying,
you at? Or Drew, where are you at? You're the
So-
tiebreaker here.
I don't think this is a question.
I had Hurts originally. Well, I had right away A tier was in my head. Between Daniels and Hurts, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind Daniels is a more talented football player in terms of what he could do for next season. The question is, how much do I value how? I think the real question is, maybe football savviness, experience. What kind of edge, does that give Hurts in this scenario in which he's made 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls? So I also don't want to discredit that when we're looking from a team perspective and a quarterback. So
I'd be okay with high A and move on. That's what
I think we'll do it. I think we're gonna put him here for now.
For next season, maybe the season after, maybe it's
for
different,
now.
but for now,
But
they're close.
Originally, I was thinking what you were thinking, Zach, too. But I'm thinking high A is not a bad thing. But there's no doubt in my mind I'm taking Joe Burrow over both those guys.
Yeah, I'd put Burrow high A or S. He's just a better talent. He's just a better talent.
I had 4 S tier quarterbacks in my eyes.
Yeah, me too.
I had 3.
I had 3 with Mahomes as the 4th, borderline.
What if I did this? Would that make anyone upset? Burrow 3rd.
I think Burrow is better than Mahomes talent-wise, but it's fine. He's not playing. Yeah, no. Okay, put Richardson right now ahead of Geno Smith, or in between Smith and Bryce Young.
What?
Yeah, because Bryce Young and Richardson are very comparable. They both got benched.
Yeah, that's
they
what I
both
was
came
going to
back.
say.
Okay, move on. Whatever.
Come
on. Okay, just move on. You're gonna piss me off. Just move on. Move on.
No, we'll take him over Kirk. We'll take him over Kirk.
We'll take him over Zach or Garrett Wilson or Russell Wilson. That's what we'll do. Okay, whatever. It's wrong. It's wrong, but I'm not gonna convince you. So,
Darnold, I would say,
sure.
Because
no, he's better than Lawrence. He's better than Lawrence.
Oh, he is?
Darnold's better than Lawrence.
No. Darnold's going to be seeing ghosts again this year. I would have him see. I'm completely out on Sam Darnold in Seattle, though.
Okay.
I put him high C. Ooh. Jared, we'll need you for this one.
He's better than Lawrence. Not as much upside as Kyler Murray. Right there. Yeah, that's good. I'd put him right there.
Tua?
No, I don't think you'd put him ahead of Tua. He had a terrible year last year. It was, yeah, I like that personally.
Josh Allen's number 1.
Number 1, yeah.
Dak ahead of Tua.
Yeah, that's fair. More consistent, I guess, until it's playoffs.
Dak.
Well, Tua also falls apart then. So
yeah.
Caleb or Dak? How do we feel about that? Huh.
I like Dak.
That's fine. It's the right tier. I don't know if it's the right order.
Yeah.
Baker or Stafford?
Mayfield's right behind Stafford.
Baker's better than Herbert. Baker's better than Purdy.
Didn't those teams just play in the playoffs last year? Mayfield and Stafford? Or no, Mayfield lost to Commanders. Never mind.
Yeah. Penix.
Ugh.
This is a small sample size.
Haven't seen much at all. I'd put him like between. I'd go under Geno.
He looked good. He looked good when he played.
But Geno just got paid. Geno just got paid for a reason. Like, he's a good quarterback. That's fine.
Saying Geno got paid is like saying Sam Darnold got paid.
For Geno Smith standards, Geno Smith, the guy that got traded to Seattle for Russell Wilson and was a nobody until he had a good season. Then you put a decent season together after that. Yeah, that's fine.
JJ McCarthy. I mean, Jared, according to your logic, he should be ahead of Purdy.
No, it's Dynasty. What?
I mean, they're probably a year apart. So it's not like
Yeah, but we don't know what to expect out of McCarthy. He hasn't played a snap. It's hard to know. I wouldn't care about any of those positions where you had him. Either way,
that's right there. Yeah, it's good. Bo Nix. Ooh.
it's probably the most interesting one on this list.
I was
Right
thinking
ahead of
same.
I would put him. I would say
Wow.
above Dak. I would say above Dak.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, see, back-to-back
Jeez,
weeks, I must be low on Denver. I was thinking like over here.
He's better than Stroud. He's better than Kyler.
Stroud.
Well,
I think he's a better game manager than Kyler.
I'd take him over
Caleb and
Caleb.
him.
I would. Think in his first year with not much talent at all besides a good defense. That's all he had. He didn't have any weapons besides Cortland Sutton. And they win, and like Mims, and they win 11 games. Like, I don't know.
Over Dak?
Interesting.
No, not over Dak, right?
That's as high as I would go, as above Dak, but I'm okay with that.
This is kind of me where I think this is
I feel
fair.
like Dak Prescott's career trajectory is kind of what Bo Nix is looking at.
Yeah.
Okay, well, before we click submit, if you will, obviously we're not submitting it, but
Yeah, there's a few things. There's no way that you guys would take Aaron Rodgers over Anthony Richardson next season.
Yeah, I would.
So if Rodgers doesn't
100%.
play, if he doesn't get signed and he retires, you would still take
If
him
he doesn't,
over
well, if he doesn't
Richardson.
play,
He's
We're
not on a
assuming
team,
he's gonna have a
and the
starting
season
job.
starts in 3 months. Like, I'm just saying, less than 100 days. They're at camp right now. They're playing, they're practicing, and he is sitting on the couch, smoking whatever he smokes, ayahuasca. Like, but he's still better than Richardson. Okay, whatever. That's all. I don't care.
okay. Well,
Stroud's too low.
Where would you put Stroud?
Stroud is too low.
I feel like he should be up in the game manager group.
With
Stroud too low. Stroud or Kyler?
With Nick, Dak, Goff, Purdy, kind of in that group. Tua.
So you think above Tua?
I would take Stroud, yeah.
I wouldn't hate it, but I think that Caleb is better than Stroud going into next year.
Yep. Best I can do.
Yeah. Unless I know you want us to move Tua down, Zach, to like Kyler. But
This is the highest I could have Tua.
I wouldn't hate putting Tua behind Caleb and then Stroud over Tua, maybe. But that's as much as I'll negotiate.
Stu, you still think Goff should be A tier?
I think Goff is better than Purdy. I think Herbert should be A tier, and I think Goff should be at worst high B, like the highest B tier. Yeah.
Did you
By these
say Herbert
standards,
should
you're
be B
saying-
tier?
Huh?
Weren't you saying Herbert should be B tier?
Yeah.
I was
just
saying he
because-
should be by
just because
Stafford.
because where you had him ranked. Like it's
Well,
hard
if
for
we
me to
wanted
say
to-
that Mayfield is better than Herbert going into next year. Now
How
that
does
I
this
see
look?
Mayfield in A.
That doesn't look right. I don't know. Maybe.
I'm
I'm
taking
the biggest
Mayfield over
Herbert.
Herbert.
I'm the biggest Herbert hater. Put him in B tier. That's fine.
I'm thinking Mayfield over Herbert as well. So that's
Yeah.
why.
Put him in B tier. In that group, like Zach said, the game managers.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So that's with quarterbacks. Keep in mind, we can do this with running backs, receivers. What about tight ends? That'll be a fun one.
What about kickers, huh? How about kickers?
Durham Smythe. How do we feel about him versus Will Disley?
Herb Smith Jr.
That's going to be a debate of the ages. Mike Gesicki,
Jelani Woods. Oh, let's do
John
that.
Smith would be A tier. Kidding.
Let's do that.
No. But right, that was a fun exercise. But it's good to debate that along with some dynasty stuff along the way. But that'll wrap it here for Zack Rausch, Jared Valleskey, and myself, Drew Skyberg, here on this Wednesday night. Thank you all for listening to yet another episode of Drew's Sports Crew, The Journey to Million, the perfect podcast for you.